Go ahead, you have to introduce me. Yeah, go ahead, introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. I'm Ernie Brill. I was on strike. I came from another college. I didn't realize when I came from that other college that I was giving up my student deferment. So in the fall of '65, I got called back to New York City to my draft board, where I had to write down that I'd been arrested, and I had a civil rights sit-in at my college. And the lieutenant looked at me and he said, "Oh, you have long hair, you go. You're in San Francisco, you're one of those hippies, right? You know, you got to get something against the war?" And I said, "I got everything against the war." And we got to talking, and he said, when he said I was a hippie, I said, "I'm not a hippie. You don't see an armband or on my head. I don't have any beads. I just like wearing my hair long." We got to talking, he said, "You know, the United States has never been involved in a war where we didn't help people." And I just looked at him and I said, "Why don't we start with the Indians and work our way up?" So I had some background when I came to state. I worked with SNCC a little bit back east in Corps. But when I came to San Francisco, it's like I'd come home. It was deja vu. I'd been here before. I loved that the campus was so diverse, so many different people. But things were changing. And I think for a lot of people, when Dr. King was assassinated, it was in the papers how many African American people wept, rioted, protested. But I think, just come to think a little while ago, that thousands, maybe millions of white people were also highly upset and pissed off. And I myself feel, because I was at the March of Washington, I revered Dr. King. I couldn't believe it though, because I could see the other people that had been assassinated. And yet, here the Grateful Dead were playing free concerts in the park. So, for me, that was a huge contradiction. And over the years, I just get infuriated by TV about the '60s and show a lot of them, as though, big party of Woodstock, come on, come on. Because for me, it started back in the '50s when the bravest people in the country were 14-year-olds trying to get into segregated schools in Little Rock. So the whole history was like a birthplace for misinformation, especially in schools. And as a high school teacher, 30 years with uphill struggles for what I would call anti-racist rainbow literature, I can assure you. And at State, I was an English major. We had our little English student union group in the strike. We recruited, it was one of the largest departments in the school. We got a lot of people out. But we also did it by going to the classroom and challenging what was being taught, like Joseph Conrad, William Faulkner, and having battles with people. Another student who was, of the white students, most of them were just students. There weren't any political group. But every guy, you can be assured, didn't want his ass getting shot up in Vietnam. So a lot of that, and were moral people, and couldn't stand what was happening with the war. There was also SDS, which had two groups, Journal Caucus and the Workers' Student Alliance, which I was a member of. And we had participated in a lot of the worker support on campus. We worked with the farm workers. They came to our strike. We worked with the big oil chemical workers strike in Richmond. They came to support our strike. But State was a working class college. There were hundreds of kids who were in unions, either in the student cafeteria, iron workers I had in classes. So, and that was part of the thing where when we fought with the police, it wasn't so easy for some of those police to fight some of us. And they would hold back sometimes. But I also want to say that the program people, the people that came from the programs that everybody have talked about, those were some of the most dedicated people in the strike. And they came out full-time, just like the people in SDS. Picketing starts at 7 in the morning, it ends at 4. There's a meeting tonight, probably from 8 to 12, or 8 to 11, to plan tomorrow. But the unsung group that nobody really has mentioned is the Iranian Students Association. And they were about 100, 200 students, and they were ferocious, they were strong, they were dedicated, and some of them were risking deportation, getting their green card taken away. And their leader, he had a program set from the Shah, the fascist Shah of Iran, that our government dictated and put in 54, 57. So it's curious to me that in all the books, the few books that have been written about the state strike, the Iranian students are invisible, and in most of the articles. And there was a mention the other day, well, back then in the strike, there wasn't a whole lot about the plight of the Arabs. And I'm here to tell you a little different, because that was some of the first efforts of the more militant Palestinian groups coming out and organizing. And there was a Palestinian terrorist, a woman who kidnapped a plane. And so that's part of where the terrorist image came from. But it was going on. It was going on campus. And they were really solid, wonderful people. That's all I can say.